Ghost type is one of the types with quite a few Pokemon, so it leads to the fact that in this list there is a pretty big difference between the top and bottom half. The top half consists of super powerful Pokemon, and the bottom half is just usable, if not quite trivial in most cases. And in this list I will not include Pokemon that are restricted in ranked match. Now let's go trainer. Standing at number 10 is Galarian CORSOLA, a single ghost type. At first, I also mistakenly thought this one was a ghost rock dual type, but it's not. This is one of the cases that having a form of evolution makes a Pokemon stronger. When CORSOLA carries the Eviolite equipment, the only method to deal with it is knock off. If your Pokemon do not possess this move, you will be desperate to deal with it. Especially for physical attack-oriented opponents, it has two methods to weaken them. Those are Will-O-Wisp and Strength Sap, in which Will-O-Wisp will cause the opponent to lose some HP per turn, while Strength Sap will heal yourself. And when everyone releases a Pokemon that can threaten CORSOLA, the Cursed Body ability comes into play. This ability has 30% chance to disable a move that damages CORSOLA for 3 turns, and pretty sure after 3 turns the Coral Pokemon will be full of HP as if nothing happened. Of course, with such a solid defensive power, this Pokemon can't be an effective attacker. It only has 2 ways of dealing damage, or burning or using Nightshade, because its attack stats are too low. The biggest enemy of this Pokemon as mentioned is Knockoff move. If not immediately defeated, it will also reduce a lot of tanky. And finally, all of CORSOLA's strengths are only useful in single battle, where in doubles the opponent can ignore it and attack its teammates. And stronger in the doubles battle, we have a Pokemon quite similar to CORSOLA, which is DUSCLOPS. It also requires the use of Eviolite, which is also a single-type ghost, which can reduce attack stat of opponents with Will-O-Wisp. While it doesn't have a healing method as useful as CORSOLA's Strength Sap, DUSCLOPS has many other ways for harassing opponents. The Ally Switch, for example, swaps places with allies to fend off dangerous attacks, like normal and fighting-type move which it is immune. Helping Hand, when you can't deal damage, you can support your teammates with the ability to increase 50% of their power. And Trick Room can turn the match in its favor when in this condition. DUSCLOPS is one of the fastest Pokemon with only 25 base speed stat. Weaknesses like CORSOLA, it is extremely afraid of knockoff and moves like Taunt, turning it into a useless Pokemon on the field. MIMIKYU, perhaps this is one of the few Pokemon that the Rocket team possesses that can be called a strong Pokemon. Gen 7 Pokemon are often given exclusive abilities, and MIMIKYU's is probably the best of them. The Disguise ability allows MIMIKYU to always block an opponent's attack. No matter how great the damage, it only loses 1/8 of its health. Unless the opponent has the same ability as Mold Breaker. And note that only direct attack moves can activate Disguise's effect, while indirect damage like Sandstorm, Poison can't break this ability. So MIMIKYU has plenty of space to power up with Sword Dance, or support teammates with Taunt, Will-O-Wisp or Trick Room. In the support role, MIMIKYU only is considered a medium good Pokemon, and the attack ability is not very comprehensive. Although possessing priority Ghost-type move, Shadow Sneak and the Ghost Fairy dual type is only resisted by a single Pokemon, Pyroar, including the Drain Punch move to recover, but these moves of MIMIKYU are too weak and its attack stats were only at average level, so MIMIKYU had to use Sword Dance to become a useful attacker. Currently, we have 4 Pokemon that have evolved to the final form with dual-type Fire Ghost, although they are resistant to many types but also have many weaknesses. And there is a Pokemon, ALOLAN MAROWAK has a very powerful exclusive item, Thick Club, which doubles its physical attack stat. When using this equipment, Marowak can reach a maximum physical attack stat of 568. For comparison, Mega Mewtwo X can only reach a maximum of 526. Along with that, Marowak also possesses many powerful moves such as Flare Blast and Pottergeist. Moreover, once time using Sword Dance made even Primal Groudon unable to withstand a single Pottergeist move of it. With the Rockhead ability, Marowak does not take damage from the Flare Blast move, helping it to avoid suicide because it has a low HP stat. The second ability is Lightning Rod, which makes it immune to an additional type of electric, strengthening the defense of this Pokemon. ALOLAN Marowak possesses a below-average speed, although the physical defense is high, but the HP stat is low, making this Pokemon unable to withstand many opponents' attacks if can't knock down them instantly. Especially, its strength is completely based on Thick Club equipment, so if the opponent used Trick or Knockoff will completely destroy this Pokemon's attack potential. Mega Sableye also has dual-type Dark and Ghost-like Spirit Tomb, only has one weakness from the Fairy type. Its defensive stats are decent, can heal itself with Recover and has a super annoying ability called Magic Bounce, so defeating this Pokemon with both damage moves or status move needs a lot of time. All forms of Spreading Trap or using Poison are useless, while opponents with high attack power are afraid of being countered with its foul play. It can also harass opponents with Will-O-Wisp and Knock Off. The drawback of Mega Sableye is that all its strengths are only useful in single battle, while in doubles battle it can be completely ignored by attacking its teammates. In this case, the normal Sableye seems to be more useful when it has ability Prankster and the Quash move, making the opponent always be the slowest in battles. If the last 5 Pokémon made you feel quite normal, the power gap from now on will skyrocket to a huge extent. AEGISLASH has a very powerful dual-type Steel and Ghost, making it able to resist 9 types, immune to 3 more, so its resistance number is the highest among Pokémon today. AEGISLASH used to be so powerful that even in the format can use super-powered Mega Evolution Pokémon. It was still banned in Generation 6 and 7. Then it was heavily nerfed in Generation 8, specifically its stats and King's Shield move. This Pokémon's way of working is based on the exclusive ability Stance Change, allowing it to flexibly change between Blade or Shield form, a trait that Deoxys is also desperately wanting. AEGISLASH will be in a Shield form when sent out or after using the King's Shield move. At this time, the 2 basic defense stats are extremely high at 140, and when using any attack move that deals damage, it will switch to in Sword form. Its stats will be reversed. To make it easy to understand, this Pokémon can safely use Sword Dance in Shield form, then switch to Blade form to destroy the opponent or stay defensive and then deal damage with status moves. Along with the low speed make it always go last, this Pokémon will be in Shield form when hit by opponents and then change to Blade form when using a move. The weakness of this Pokémon probably is how trainer control it, because when this Pokémon has not returned to the Shield form in time, it is quite certain that it will take a hit and be defeated. BLACEPHALON also has dual-type Fire and Ghost, but unlike MAROWAK it possesses a total stat close to the pseudo-legendary. With a high speed and superior attack power that can blow away all defense wall when using Life Orb or Choice Specs. And every time it kills an opponent, it gets stronger. That's because the Beast Boost exclusive ability of Ultra Beasts will give them 1 level of their strongest stats every time they defeat an opponent. In the case of BLACEPHALON, it will mostly be a special attack increase, and when using the Choice Scaff item, it can completely destroy the opponent's team with almost no way to stop it. A rather unfortunate thing about this Pokémon is that it follows the model of the glass cannon a bit too much. Just a slightly touch will knock it down. Its stats are too pathetic in defense and HP. In addition, it cannot take advantage of its extremely high physical attack stats because the move system in this field is too useless. Dragapult may not hit as painful as BLACEPHALON, but its outstanding point is extremely fast. What's more is that it can take on many roles, and in any position it does very well. Dual types of Dragon and Ghost type make its stab move are only resisted by Wigglytuff, Bisharp and Grimmsnaw, of which only Grimmsnaw is common in competitive match. Dragapult can attack comprehensively in both physical and special side with very powerful moves such as Dragon Dart, Draco Meteor, Fire Blast and Thunder. In general, despite having a higher physical attack, its special attacks are stronger because of its moveset. In support role, Dragapult is also very useful with his speed, such as using Will-O-Wish and Thunder Wave before the opponent being able to react. Also can create defense layer with Light Screen and Protect, as well as using U-turn to safely retreat while still dealing some damage. In conclusion, Dragapult is a useful Pokémon in many ways and never lets you down. SPECTRIER is like a mini Calyrex Shadow Rider. Although it is not as strong as BLACEPHALON, it is also a heavily sweeper, while can use Nasty Plot to strengthen its special attack stat. Its Grim Neigh ability is similar to BLACEPHALON, increasing its special attack power after defeating an opponent. So you can take all the advantages of BLACEPHALON and apply it to this Pokémon, and then add in its second highest speed stat. Although SPECTRIER is also quite fragile, at least its defense is as twice as BLACEPHALON. In addition, it can harass the opponent with Will-O-Wisp, Taunt or Substitute to protect itself from status moves. Its drawback is the extreme lack of other type moves to supplement the offensive ability, although in most cases Ghost type moves are enough. The top position belongs to Mega Gengar, a Pokémon with outstanding stats and extremely inhibiting moves, including Perish Song. Although Perish Trap is not a new strategy, Gengar is the only Pokémon that possesses both Perish Song and Shadow Tag. What's more, this monster possesses a special attack of 170 and an extremely high speed of 130. It can deal a huge amount of damage to the opponent. When the opponent's Pokémon has no way to fight Mega Gengar, it must stay on the battleground, even sitting and watching it set up with Nasty Plot but can't do anything. Its Ghost-type move Shadow Ball can handle Psychic-type Pokémon, Focus Blast is for Shadow-type Pokémon, and Poison-type Sludge Wave is especially deadly against any Fairy-type Pokémon. Besides, it has many annoying support moves like Hypnosis to put you to sleep, Taunt to counter support Pokémon or Substitute to prevent strong opponents. So if you have Mega Gengar in your team, opponent's team must think about how to disable its trap, withstand its attack and harassment. So many things must do to counter this monster. And that's my top 10 strongest Ghost-type Pokémon excluding the restricted Pokémon. However, perhaps stronger than Mega Gengar, only Marshadow or Calyrex Shadow Rider. If you agree with this